Right. This seems like a long time coming, but I thought I'd make a wee Trine 4 video to get my impressions on Trine 4, as I did for Trine 1 to 3. Thought I would start off by this main menu screen. This main menu screen's cool because as you unlock secrets in the game, like you collect treasures or something, you can unlock secrets, and in this main menu you actually can unlock like a secret in itself, which I think is pretty cool. Like, this started off as an empty room that you started off in, so you were like, you know, makes you curious or whatever, that makes you wonder like what's the story going to be like, because this room has like stuff to do with the story. And yeah, there are now just, you unlock these keys, so the keys appear, these devices appear, this globe, the seesaw, they all appear, so that you can, that's right, this one, so that you can unlock some sort of secret. Probably not going to unlock the secret now because I don't have the last key, so I still need to finish the game, but to give you the idea there, oops, I want that one. Already displaying some of my gripes with this game, actually, not to spoil this little preview. So I've got 4, and yeah, I just thought that was cool. Anyway, start the game, show some levels. First off, what they did...
Pontius and Zoya pursued Celius again with renewed vigor, now in possession of a chance to help the lost prince. If the prince could be cured of his curse, there'd be no...
Yes, so first off, the map screen. Map screen's pretty cool. It kind of harks back to Trine 1. Trine 1 had like a nice map with like a little trail and, you know, X's for the levels, and the... Trine, I looked at my old videos, my old 1 to 3, just to sort of remember what those games were actually like, so I could compare it. And yeah, this reminds me, actually, like, I like this. I liked it before, but I've forgotten if they actually done anything like this in the other Trine games. Because I remember Trine 1 and Trine 2 actually had, like, the level select was pictures, and I like this, but I've got to say I actually quite like the pictures as well, because the pictures, you could remember the levels a bit more by looking at a still image of the level. Trine 2 not, because Trine 2 was all forests, so they all merged into one. But, and you know, this one does its job as well with the nice drawn image. I like this level select, actually. It is cool. So you've got like the little map and the little trail, so you can sort of see the journey that they're making. And I like that about Trine 1, and they didn't do it in Trine 2. I think they brought it back in Trine 3, but Trine 3 was very short, so it's nice to see it again. And it's presented quite well, actually. Like, it is. I do like the, so when you're selecting a level, image moves, it's nice, good fluff. But this leads me to, yeah, just it means that I don't fully remember what the levels were, and therefore I'm finding it hard to pick a level to show. I think that one was nice. I'll show this one, because I suppose you go into here and that's where you see the still images. Yeah, okay, no, okay. Level select is fine. Any gripes I had with it are negligible. I shall show this random part. So overall, I do like Trine 4.
A
Trine 4
fishy
is
creature
cool.
of the marshlands had surprised the heroes with her assistance. They had been given a vial containing a little bit of magic.
Just want to
They
skip the
didn't
narration.
yet know what.
Because once again, the story is okay. Like, the story is good. Probably better than some other Trine games, but like, I don't really care about the story. It's never been a major draw to these games, really. Story is just kind of there in the background. The main thing, story-wise or story-related, is the way the characters interact with each other. Like, that's always fun. Like, they always have good banter with each other. So you know, the three characters. Just one's like the knight is like courageous and has no fear, and they're very typical, stereotypical mage, rogue, warrior, but the game gets a good few laughs. So. I guess, yeah, first off, graphics. I don't know if I've read a few things online, and I think the graphics look worse than the other Trine games, which I'm surprised at, because this is the first one. Maybe Trine 3 was also made for the PS4, like PS4 era, but yeah, you'd expect these games to, you know, get better graphically as they went on, and this one looks nice. It's just I don't know, doesn't look as good as Trine 2, I would say, for example, or Trine 3. I think Trine 3 looks fantastic. Yeah. What I find interesting about this one is that it feels like they have gone back. So Trine 3 was obviously a 3D game. It was 3D, you could move up and down, and people didn't like it, but I did. Like, I really enjoyed Trine 3. I think I don't even know what Trine is my favourite one, because I think they're all so different that you can judge them all on their own merits. But yeah, Trine 3 I thought looked great. I thought it played great as well, and I'm actually a wee bit disappointed that they didn't continue on with 3D, like, sort of, because all the Trine games do kind of feel like a progression from each other. Like, they all feel like an innovation on top of each other, essentially, and this feels like a step back. So this is, I've got to say, it's surprising that they obviously, there's a big gap between Trine 3 and Trine 4, so we're obviously not doing that successfully, I think, Frostbite, the developers of these games, but they obviously, they make them out of love, like, they enjoy making these games, and you can tell that. But yeah, they've obviously gone back, I think, in the hope to get more sales from, like, Trine fans. And it's cool. I would say this is a mix between 1 and 2, like, because I think 2 had a very close camera, like, the camera was very close, and you couldn't really see the entire... You couldn't really see much, it was all, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, just the camera was closer. But this feels like it's more Trine 1, the camera's pulled back, and you can see a lot more because of that. So that's a plus, I guess, but as I say, I just feel like the graphics have sort of taken a wee bit of a dive. What do I do? I would also say the puzzles have taken, like, it's funny, so they have also taken inspiration from Trine 3 in that in Trine 1 and 2, I felt like the puzzles were really...
I want the bear to join us on our adventure.
It's not quite as magical as we are. What if things get hairy? Or
I'm sure this is the end of the level, actually.
Best let it stay in the woods.
Yeah, so stuff like this looks nice. These scenes look really good, but I just think they don't look as good as Trine 3. But yes, now what they've done with Trine 3, so for example, Trine 1 and 2, you controlled everything with the right analog stick. This one, they've done the Trine 3 thing where I just, with the wizard for example, I can just magically, what's the word for making something appear? I don't know. Make a block appear. Whereas in Trine 1 and 2, you could draw them, and by drawing them, you could actually draw the shape. Like, so you could draw the size. You could make big blocks, you can make small blocks, you can make planks, you can make different things depending on what shape you drew. You now just press square. He creates a standard block, or you can have a circle, a sphere even, a plank, or a bouncy ball, which is a special upgrade. And that's okay, but it's taken from Trine 3, and I feel like the reason Trine 3 did it was to simplify the combat, or the puzzle solving, and Trine 3 needed that simplification because it was 3D. And this is why I feel like this game feels like a step back, because they've taken that system, which was a simplification, but put it into the 2D of Trine 1 and 2, which wasn't necessary because, you know, they worked fine, and I would say that the simplification was only made because of that jump to 3D, and it worked in 3D, but I just don't feel like it works as well in 2D. I think 2D, they could have gone back completely to how Trine 1 and 2 functioned, and it would have been better for it, I think. It's fine as it is, but it would have been better for it. I will just skip these cutscenes and choose a different level.
The last of the woodland spirits the heroes were to
this
meet
loading screen is annoying because, yeah, you can't do anything right now,
forest.
and he just talks.
They pressed on.
Like, I just want to go back to the level select. Yeah, there we go. What's another level to show? Maybe try this one. I think this one's quite nice. Yeah, that looks nice. Beginning of level. Yeah, so what?
Dream had given the heroes some insight to what was troubling young Celius.
Got to wait.
Once the dream ended,
and then I can skip it.
The heroes woke up at the.
What the specific actions mean in the, you know, I can't draw whatever I want.
Let the boy run. It's his life. And it's not like
another
we're
example
getting anything
is
out of this little field trip, except a pat on the back from the wizards.
This actually looks really nice.
Leave the boy alone? In a nighttime forest
I think
full of
art direction
nightmares?
is still top notch. Art direction is still top notch. I just think graphics have taken a dip. That's all I'll say. Like, graphics are still nice, but for some reason not as nice as I was expecting them to be. I was expecting them to be like amazing, compared to, like, they are nice, but just not amazing. Anyway, so yeah, Zoya, for example, the thief, the rogue, can only grapple onto these hooks. And in 1 and 2, she could grapple onto, like, any wooden surface. So that wooden surface up there, I could grapple onto in 1 and 2, but I can't now because I can only. And this was again something taken from 3 to make it simpler, more simple, which made sense. But in 2D, it doesn't make sense because what it does is it makes the puzzle easier to solve. So the puzzles just feel like. I mean, to be fair, if this exact puzzle was given in Trine 1 and 2, it would be easy because I would just grapple onto that wood, and then I would hoik myself up, and then that would be the puzzle done. But this one I need to, you know, grapple these 2 bits, climb up that way, and get up there. It's still easy, but it's more obvious, I would say. Like, in 1 and 2, there's no obvious solution, because there are lots of solutions in 1 and 2. There are still lots of solutions in this. Like, I didn't have to do it that way. I could build blocks with the wizard, the mage, for example. I could tower them high and climb up. So there are still not obvious solutions to puzzles, but they're more obvious in this. And because they're more obvious, it makes the sort of distinction between who you're meant to use clear, which in a way is good for simplification, but compared to Trine 1 and 2, it's a lot less free-flowing than they felt. Next point is combat. I think combat is pretty dire in this one. Like, I don't know, I had fun in Trine 1. Trine 1 I think had the best combat, actually, surprisingly. Because Trine 1 had like a really good upgrade system. What happens in this one, right, is, yeah, you've seen, like, you get sectioned off into this zone that closes off every other area. I think in Trine 1 and 2, they did sometimes close you off, but, like, you could still run left and right through the screen. Like, they only blocked you off in the sense that doors closed and whatever. They didn't actually keep you confined to this one screen like this game does. This game just kind of throws random enemies at you, and they're random because of the story. The story is, as I said, these games, they're non-existent stories. You don't have to really pay attention. But, like, this, I don't know. It doesn't feel as fun as in Trine 1 and 2. For example, Trine 1 and 2, I could just pick up. I mean, you can still pick up the enemies and probably kill them that way. But in a lot of these combat zones, the pitfalls and whatever are usually closed off. So that option just to throw enemies down pits like that isn't always there. Whereas it was usually there.
Magic lingering in these ruins.
It was usually there in 1 and 2.
Magic can do.
Again, feels like a weird downgrade in some aspects. And again, like, I know how to do this puzzle because I see that those two are highlighted, so I know to, like, do that. So yeah, what I've noticed about this one is that there is a lot of simplification, more making things obvious, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, like, and that makes this one a very average Trine game, I would say. Like, it's good and it's nice to see the series back, but sort of everything combines in a good way. Like, it's not, nothing's done badly, it's just done different, and it just kind of makes the whole experience average. So I have enjoyed myself with this. But one thing I'll say, actually, I can't remember the bosses from when I was watching my other videos. I said something like the bosses were really cool. I can't remember the bosses from, because I didn't show them in the video. I maybe showed one boss that was quite cool, but I can't remember the bosses from Trine 1, 2 and 3. But I did say in the video that they were cool, so I assume they were cool. The bosses in this one aren't that cool. Like, they're still puzzle bosses, and some I did enjoy, but I don't know. Here's another fight, and I feel like the fights are, I don't know, I mean, fighting was never fun in Trine, I'll say that. It's a puzzle game, it's not a combat game. But I just feel like this one just throws all these enemies at you in this little tight space, and it's just annoying. And the best tactic is just use the ice arrow, because the ice arrow freezes enemies, and any other tactic gets you killed. And the thing is, this in the other games there were checkpoints, so that if you died you would go back to the checkpoints. In this one, if you die, you just start the fight again. So again, it's a sort of like, it's another modern simplification that, if I'm honest, I'm not going to complain about that because I hate the fighting. So why do I want to have it chuck me all the way back if I die? So, I just want to get the fight over and done with. And yeah, they're not hard, but they're just not entertaining either. I'll show a different level before wrapping it up. What else can I say? Oh, quit the main menu instead of continuing game.
Once the dream ended, the heroes woke up at the edge of a forest with the pale moon shining on them.
I will say this is annoying. Like, I would like to just be taken to the level select.
Leading into the dark forest.
It used to be that you chose the level and then it would load, and while it was loading, that voiceover happened, which was fine. But the fact that I have to actually have the level load to get into the level select itself is actually annoying. So, meh. What did that one look like? Oh, that one looks nice. I do like the art direction of these games. I think they're great. Again, story-wise, there's a the reason the enemies are like this is that there's a prince who's creating nightmares, and he traps you in these nightmares, little nightmare zones to fight his nightmare creatures. And while not bad, in comparison to like the other games, like I do remember complaining that the other games had. Oh, these are nice levels actually. That is a nice level, snowy level. But I'll show the city level because the city level's cool. These are like the tutorial levels. So the first one you play, you play as like only one character.
She was also enchanted with the mystical
but this one just looks nice.
Trine. Fate and fortune had brought. While the whole city was busy.
There we go.
There were so many paintings up there, it'll take them weeks to even notice one of them is gone.
Nice city look.
Wait, what am I doing? Talking to myself.
Can't remember what I was saying before the loading screen. Loading screen always like makes me forget what I was saying. So yeah, it's annoying that there's simplification and that you can only swing on certain areas. and that makes the puzzles feel like there's a specific way to solve every puzzle, and that's the joy of Trine. I would say is that the puzzle in Trine 1 and 2, when I solved the puzzle, I was just like, was I meant to solve it like that? Because like you're always solving it in some random way, and you have to laugh when you solve a puzzle because you've left like multiple blocks behind that just are randomly chucked about, and it's funny when you solve a puzzle in Trine 1 and 2, but in this one it's just kind of like still good and like better than most games, but in comparison to like the other games in the series, it's I would just say disappointing. It's just disappointing, and not in like a terrible way, like just in like a sort of I wish they could have done it that way, but oh well. I do understand why they've made it. They obviously wanted to carry on from Trine 3, that system, but they also wanted to revert back to Trine 1, Trine 2, so it's a nice mix, I guess. But I personally would rather that they made another 3D game and just carried on from the sort of Trine 3 way of doing things, because I really enjoyed that game. I thought it was cool, I thought it was a nice innovation, and I just thought they could have done so much more. And I think the reason they didn't continue with that is because fans of the series didn't like it. I'm a fan of the series and I liked it, so I don't know. I think my main complaints with 3 was that it was too short, and I think that was for budget reasons. Like I think they ran out of money when making it, and yeah, maybe this game is kickstarted. But I don't even know the history of this game. I just randomly saw it in the store and was like, oh cool, I'll get that at some point. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because I have had fun with it. I just it wasn't as good as I was expecting, I have to say, because I feel like the Trine games certainly went like, first one was good, combat was best in the first one. 2 was also like 2 was an improvement puzzle wise, but not in combat wise. Like combat was actually quite boring. But I do have to say that yeah, the puzzles in 1 and 2 and even 3 feel like the combat feel like puzzles in themselves, because of all the things you can do to the enemies.
It
and all
was
this sort
just
of
a painting. Maybe the masquerade can cheer me up.
The combat actually felt like puzzles in themselves because of all the different abilities you have and all the ways you can dispatch enemies. This one, it just feels like, you can never really go. Oh, there we go. You can never really go the. Oops. Okay, yeah, that's it, I guess. You can never really go the mage in combat, so you have to either go Zoya with the bow and arrow, or the knight with the sword. And I feel like getting up and close with the enemies is pointless because you just get hurt, and yeah, shooting them with the arrow is so much better because you don't lose health. So it's a no-brainer for me to just like especially ice them. Like, you've got 3 different arrows, so like ice them. It takes one enemy out of the match because they're frozen, and then you can deal with the others, or you can just deal with that one, and yeah, it's just less attacks coming at you, because it does feel like when combat happens, everyone just comes at you all at once, and it's combat's never been good, but I think 1 actually had the best combat because of the upgrade system. That's right, upgrade system is very similar to 2 and I think 3 as well. Trine 1 had the best upgrade system because you could actually mix and match. So the upgrade system was cool because the secret items you found in the levels were your upgrades, and you could assign whatever upgrades you collected to whatever, so like health up or like attack up or whatever, you could assign it to whichever character you wanted, making it a bit more RPG-like, whereas this one is just like you collect the collectibles, you collect upgrade points down in the bottom right corner, and you can upgrade everything. But at the end of the day, all your characters, once you complete the game fully, and get all the collectibles, then you're always going to be at the same end, the same point as everyone else, essentially. But in Trine 1, you could do what you wanted, and so your playthrough would be different from someone else's. in that sense, and that's.
The many letters
I just found that a lot better. Like it was a lot more, again, a lot more freeform and a lot of fun. I'll show one more level because there is something Yes, there is something I want to talk about, and that is. I think I'll show off. I'll just do the first level with the wizard. No. You know what? I'll do a new level that I haven't started yet. I don't know what it's like. Nice snowy mountain is all I saw.
Amadeus, Pontius, and Zoya pursued Celius again with renewed vigor.
So
now
yes, remembering
of a chance to help the lost
remembering about
prince.
Trine 2, I
prince
didn't
could be
enjoy
cured.
my initial playthrough with Trine 2. However,
The
there were
fairy potion looks like it's made of liquid light.
DLC
Makes
levels.
sense, as we seem to be fighting shadows.
Now we just follow the trail of nightmares which should lead us to Celius.
Ice arrow will probably be pointless here. Lots of fire arrow puzzles, I assume. This actually looks really cool. Like this level looks lovely. Yes, so Trine 2 had, and I think Trine 1 as well, but Trine 2 had DLC from the Wii U version. So they actually made DLC for the Wii U version that they then ported to the PS4, because Trine 1 and 2 were initially PS3 games. DLC made for the Wii U of all things, and then that version ported to the PS2. The DLC levels were amazing because what the DLC levels did was they assumed that you had gone through the game and upgraded everything because they're DLC, and they made puzzles that like used every special ability. So I would say that you can complete the main game only using the squares. The circle upgrades are optional. They're entirely optional. They're never necessary in any puzzle. But the DLC levels in 2 utilize these sort of circle, like late game upgrades that, and it added an extra like level to the puzzle making and combat as well. Actually, combat was really cool for it. So DLC enhanced Trine 2 for me. Hated the main game of Trine 2 just because it was all in the forest and it was quite sluggish and boring, and I played it on PS2 as well and didn't enjoy it then either. Sorry, PS3. They are apparently making DLC for this game, which I would get because I think they're really good at DLC. They're really good at that sort of like thinking outside the box, knowing what players are going to want, and I think they're going to take feedback. I don't know what the feedback on this game is. I think people have generally liked it. Like I think the general consensus is that this is a good step forward for the series, which it is. It is a good step forward for the series because it's another game, and another game is only a good thing. So, but yes, with the DLC, they'll basically do this, but more, and they'll make it harder. Like the DLC levels are always like super hard, so I'll be looking forward to that. Puzzle-wise, like really hard puzzles. Oh, this happened in the last level actually. I've just noticed this. So, combat. I just find combat annoying. Right, so these guys are up here, and I can't actually reach them with anyone other than the rogue. So if my rogue dies, I need to basically pull them down with the mage. Combat just gets annoying and tedious because there's just attacks coming at you from left, right, and center, and I don't know what they're thinking of combat sometimes, especially in this game. Right, so now I need to avoid attacks, get him down. No, I want the other one. And this is what I mean with. Oh, I guess I haven't really said it, but like the previous combat method of like, oh god. See, now I can't reach him with like Pontius, so I need to get the other two back. Right, there we go. Now it's easy because yeah, it's just one guy, I suppose. But nah, the combat's annoying because it's just a constant barrage. You're trapped in this little arena, and if I die, I just go back to the start of the battle. So there's no like danger to it. It's just get through it and carry on with the puzzles. And you can see there as well, like that the gap down here was like blocked off, so I couldn't do any sort of like outside the box thinking where I just grab an enemy and chug him down the cliff like I could in the other games. And I thought that was always really cool. Anyway, so yeah, I think they're making DLC for this game, and I hope it's like I think it will be good. I will probably get the DLC because the DLC was cool for the last games, and I think it will be good for this one as well. Yep, overall, cool game. I don't even like, all the Trines are so different. This one is the most average, and I would say probably the best place to start if you're looking to get into the Trine series, because it is so average. I do feel like it is sort of made for newcomers in that way. Oh, ice, okay. Actually useful in the ice level.
How are we going to make Celis drink the potion?
I guess we start by asking nicely.
Or
But
we
yeah.
could just tie him up before he summons
Looking forward to
anything
DLC. Hope the levels will be harder. I have also read that the levels, like these late levels, I think I'm on like the last 3 levels, are meant to be like Trine 2 levels of hard, so I'm looking forward to these levels as well. Already getting good impressions from this one, like it looks really nice. Still not as nice as Trine 2, but or Trine 3, but hey. And I just hope that in the future they do attempt 3D again. Like, even if Trine 5 was this again, like 2.5D, but better, I would still be okay with that. Just maybe somewhere down the line attempt another 3D game, do it better, and I'd be happy, because I think that would be cool. And those are my impressions of Trine 4 so far. Haven't completed it yet. Enjoying it. But it's, for the Trine series, average.